Hey, welcome to Taste This. I'm Ron. This is my friend Makers and my other friend Weller. Hey, we're continuing our whiskey mashup. Today we're putting Maker's Mark FAE-01 against Weller 107. Now, to be fair, Weller 107 is one of my longtime favorites, but this Maker's is one of my new time favorites. So this should get interesting. Let's check it out. So today's tasting is kind of a fun one. Weller 107 is really sought after, and it's kind of hard to find around here. This the Maker's Mark Finishing Series is limited and therefore even harder to get. I think it could come off as a bit of a marketing ploy, but they ended up making a very good bourbon, so it should be a good mashup. Hey, if you're new around here, would you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and maybe hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos? And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. So Maker's Mark, FAE-01. Well, what does that mean? It's part of the Maker's Mark the wood finishing series. They take a stave of wood and they insert it into the barrel of cask strength bourbon and then let it age some more to take on more unique flavors. They've got different staves, and it takes on different flavors. They're playing around creating different bourbons, better bourbons. It's 110 proof. It's non-age stated. The mash bill is 70% corn, 16% wheat, and 14% malted barley, and it's priced around $60. So Weller 107. Weller OWA, Weller Antique 107. There's all these names, but what it comes down to is it's good bourbon. It's 107 proof, and it's typical to the Buffalo Trace game. They hide the mash bill. It's not age stated, but we think it's around 7 years old. It's priced around $50 if you can find it at retail, which isn't often, and I don't even care what the secondary market price is on it. It's just, if you're a secondary market person, you're probably not watching this video anyway, but I think that whole secondary thing is just a bunch of garbage. Drink the bourbon, enjoy the bourbon, and if you're not going to enjoy it, let somebody else enjoy it. It's just my 2 cents. So let's get into the tasting on this. The Maker's Mark. So on the nose, you get some oak. It's a little syrupy. Got some caramel, and really, as it goes in the nose, it has a full body smell to it. Full body nose. I don't know what you want to call that, but it's got a full smell to it. Let's taste it. I'm gonna do a second taste. It's fruity. There's some charred oakiness in there. There's some berries. There's some vanilla. Flavor, in a good way, takes you on a bit of a journey. The finish is nutty. It's almost a little dry. I don't know. It seems kind of strange for me, thinking of wine. It almost gives me a flavor of kind of a wine, not a wine flavor, but when you take a sip of a good dry wine, it kind of gives you a little dry. Same thing here. It's definitely, it brings a unique and maybe a grown-up feel to Maker's Mark. And to me, it gives you kind of an idea what Makers could do if they really wanted to take Maker's Mark up a level, make a Maker's Mark that's, just a shade nicer. And I think that's what they've done here. The points here on the nose, I'm going to give it a 7. The taste, which I enjoyed, but maybe not as much as some. I'm going to give that a 5. And then the finish, it surprised me a little bit. I'm going to give that a 6. So let's move on to the Weller. Weller 107. Truly is one of my favorites, but I don't really care which one of these wins because I already own them. The nose it's almost fruit forward. It's got a little vanilla, some caramel. I get some oak and almost a hint of cinnamon. It's got a full oily mouthfeel. The cinnamon's there. There's some cherries. There's some sugar. There's some oak, and the flavors really shine through in kind of a strange way. They overpower the heat. I mean, this is a 107 proof bourbon, and to be fair, this is 110. Neither one of them come off as being that hot. But this drink's almost like an 80 proof to me. The finish there, you got some cinnamon. There's some vanilla and caramel, maybe a hint of tobacco in there somewhere, but I can still get that oily mouthfeel. I still kind of feel it. It just lingers, and I really enjoy it. The nose wasn't as powerful as some that I've done, but I don't mind that so much because I'd rather have it hang on the finish, which it's still doing for me. So I'm gonna say a 6 on the nose. I really like the palate, and so I'm gonna give that an 8. And the finish, I'm gonna go with an 8 on the finish, which gives me a 22. The Makers comes out at 18. So again, I really enjoy the Makers, and I'll be drinking more of that. But I kind of nurse it along because it's hard to get. But I kind of do the same with this as well. So these will move on to the next round. This moves on to our winners bracket. We'll compete against some other stuff. We're going to shuffle everything around so they have some common stuff to go against each other. This will move on to our secondary round, which then in the end, the winner of this, the secondary round, the winner of the main round will compete, and we'll get an eventual winner. But hey, Weller 107, Maker's Mark. Weller took this round, but it's good stuff. So that's it for the mashup this week. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.